With some tips on how to make things a little bit easier is Seth Kaplan, managing partner at Airline Weekly. First of all, explain the number of cancellations to us. I mean, it didn't used to be that way when a big blizzard hit that you'd have 8,000 flights canceled.
Yeah, it didn't used to be that way at all, John. You're right. A big change from the way airlines used to do things. I mean, they really used to try to fly as long as it was safe to fly. But of course, you don't know exactly when that moment's going to come when you have to shut it down. So then you ended up with planes and people kind of stranded everywhere. Those images of passengers stranded in terminals and in some cases aboard aircraft away from the gate. So airlines, partly prodded by the government, which started fining them when something like that happened, said, you know what? We're going to be more proactive about canceling flights. Cancel lots of flights in advance. And so the upshot, John, is that the good news, you don't have those awful situations anymore. But the bad news is to get there, you have to cancel a whole lot more flights in advance. And that's what they did.
So the airlines figure people would rather, wait out the storm in their living room or maybe at the office or something rather than go to the airport and have to sleep on the floor.
Exactly, John. I mean, far more people inconvenienced now than you would have had, let's say, a decade ago, but we don't see those people. And they are more comfortable. They are, as you said, at home or perhaps in the homes of their relatives if they were stuck away and didn't get back home. Not those awful situations, but far more situations than we once had.
All right, so if you were booked on one of those 7,000 flights, and there are a lot of people still trying to get home or, get to their business meeting after this event, what do you suggest they do? What's the best way to go about getting themselves on an airplane?
Yeah, well, the good news, first of all, is that if this had to happen, there's basically no better week it could have happened. Last week in January, very low demand time for travel. So fairly a good number of empty seats in the next few days to reaccommodate people. But yeah, John, I mean, let's face it, you are basically competing against all your fellow travelers for those empty seats. So give yourself a leg up by partly just being creative. The airline's going to look automatically for you for that next seat on the same route that you're traveling. But, if you're supposed to fly to or from LaGuardia and you don't mind using JFK instead, tell the airline that. They won't assume that. And if the next empty seat is from there, you might get to where you're going a little bit sooner. So think in terms of that. Also, try to pack light. Try not to check bags if you can. Not only will that save you money nowadays on most airlines, but it also, when you need to make a last-minute change, when you see that, that flight going out from another gate and you say, hey, can I jump on that one over there? The first thing the gate agent will ask you a lot of times is, did you check a bag? Because it's much easier to let you make that last-minute switch if you didn't.
All right. Seth Kaplan, some good advice there. Thank you.
Thank you, John.